I was born, so I'm an immigrant to this country, and I was born in the former Soviet Union. And well, back then in the early 70s when I was born, it was the Soviet Union, and then my family, when I was about, so late, I guess it was 1979, my parents decided to immigrate to America. So at that time, it was kind of one of the first waves of large immigration into the United States out of Soviet Union at the time. And so we immigrated to Chicago. At the time was my parents, who were at that time, my mom was in her 30s, my dad was in his 40s, 2 kids. I was 6.5, my sister was 10 and a half. Probably not more than 2 or 3 suitcases,
Right.
Sell what you got, take a few things that you can take. And back then, it's not like today where you just get on an airplane and 10 hours later you're
Right.
back then. It was a whole process.
Okay.
And it took us, I think we left in November of 1973, and we got to Chicago in March of 1980. So, and that entire time we lived in Europe. We would go, there were organizations that helped us, but we lived in Vienna. We lived for about 2 to 3 months in Italy, and my parents had to learn how to survive. Didn't speak Italian, any other language, didn't speak a word of English at the time. And then finally we made it to Chicago, where my parents at the time had a couple of friends that had already come a year or 2 before them, so we stayed with them for a little bit, and then it was just off, find a job, do whatever you can to survive. It was 2 young kids to feed, no money, hardly any belongings, and do what you can.
It's hard for a lot of people to even understand that, okay? But to go through, to do that, and that challenge that laid before you. And why do you think they wanted to immigrate?
For a better life, to give us a better life, more opportunity.